Nestled in a little park along Marsh Lake at 94th and France Avenue is a little-known amenity here. It's the Bloomington Archery Range, and it's newly improved. This week on Verbrugge View, we're going to talk about the improvements here at the Bloomington Archery Range, and I'm going to take my hand at firing a few arrows. Why don't you come along for this week's Verbrugge View? I'm here with Jeremy Klotz, a park supervisor in our Public Works Department. Jeremy was the project lead on overhauling the archery range and improving it for our residents and for archery enthusiasts. So Jeremy, tell me a little bit about why it is that we felt we needed to redo and improve the archery range.
Well, two of the biggest concerns were for ADA compliancy and also for safety of our user groups. With this archery range, we actually have a unique situation where we have the distances for the people who do competition shooting, which is in meters. They are Olympic shooting, and we also have the ability for people who are for game, for hunting. So we've set up 10 yards sights for the beginners. That was one that was recommended by the National Field Archery Association, and then they've progressively moved their way up. And then we also have it, so we go from 10 yards up to 70 yards. The Olympic shooters actually shoot at 70 meters, so the very end one is set up in meters.
The physical layout here is also improved. So for ADA, which is Americans with Disabilities Act, we have an improved surface for people to move through the archery range, right?
Yes. From the parking lot to the shooting firing line right there, the concrete firing line, these gravel paths are put in, and those are at ADA compliance, they're at grade, and also the concrete itself is at ADA. Once they shoot, throughout the site here, we actually have ADA paths so they can go down and utilize the targets and able to pull out their arrows.
The initial application was for about 6 firing stations. We went above and beyond that. How many do we have, and why did we do that?
Right now we have 18. There is room for 4 more sites, but we felt that with the new changes, that some of the people that we've interviewed over the time doing the research on this, people were not staying in Bloomington to shoot, they actually live in Bloomington. And we felt that with the new safety precautions we put out here, we wanted to make sure that there's plenty of targets for the people who are leaving, for newcomers, and for the people who were here originally, that they had plenty to shoot at and they didn't feel like it was crowded.
So it's free, it's outdoors, and there's hardly ever any waiting, correct?
Yes.
This sounds like fun. I think I'll try my hand at some archery. Why don't you come along as I get a lesson? I'm here with Doug Junker. Doug is an archery enthusiast. He also happens to be one of our Stellar City of Bloomington employees. Doug's going to give me a tutorial on how to shoot here at the archery range. Doug, what am I looking at?
So what we have here is kind of a standard compound hunting bow. We'll see a lot of different bows out at the Bloomington range, but today this is just a hunting bow. So what we're going to do is we're going to be shooting a release instead of fingers.
Okay.
It'll hook onto that little knock point right there. And again, a bow is kind of unique. You got a front sight, and your back sight is this little peephole back here.
Okay.
So we're on a gun, that would be on one long pipe, if you will. You're going to want to keep these steady as you can.
Okay.
It's all about you and how steady you can be. And then we've got a nice big round donut target for you to shoot at 20 yards. Nice and tight on your wrists. There you go.
So now I want to line this
Find
up.
that top bead and that.
Oh, I didn't pull the trigger. All right,
okay.
This is harder than it looks. There's a lot to remember here.
Now finger behind the trigger again.
All right, finger behind the trigger. Don't do that again.
Yep.
Pull this.
Okay.
Okay.
Straight back.
Straight. Man, that takes a lot.
Yep.
I did not eat my Wheaties this morning.
Come back. One more if you can.
Nope. Nope. I got the wood.
Got the wood.
I think I'm going to stop while I'm ahead, and so that I can move my arms again tomorrow. Doug, anything else that you want to talk about from a user's perspective here?
No, this is the absolute perfect layout for range safety and for archery. This is a great layout. I think you guys have already talked about it. It's accessible. It gets everybody talking on the same plane, no matter how far away they're shooting. This is, in my opinion, the most ideal archery range setup you can have.
All right, so if you haven't tried it before, this is a nice experience for you or for kids in your family to come out here, enjoy the outdoors, enjoy a free activity, and learn something new and have a good time while you're doing it. Thanks for watching this week's Verbrugge View. We'll see you next time.